to it. To that, let us get into it.
Well, before we get into basketball, I do want to add this to the HBCU segment because some news came out today that was unexpected to say the least. Um, I think I would be more excited if what happened in Jackson State didn't happen. But Ed Reed has been hired, or they have an agreement in place, uh, to be Bethune Cookman's next head coach. That's a big deal.
It's an excellent deal. Bethune is a great school that I support. I've visited, I've been to. Excellent friends with a lot of their alum. I talked to a few of them already. They're very excited to have Ed Reed as their head coach. I 100% agree with you. I think that there is a hangover for he who shall not be named. And I just look forward to Coach Reed taking over this team and catapulting them to new heights. Good hire.
Yeah,
Damn good
yeah,
hire.
man. So the difference between this hire and the previous hire in Jackson is that Ed Reed is actually on the Miami Hurricanes coaching staff prior to being hired at Bethune Cookman. He has experience coaching. He has ties to.
Oh, he died, but he got a quick scope on the way out. He can shoot you now.
He's got ties to South Florida. Of course, he's got ties to Florida. But he has experience. It doesn't seem like the job was just given to him. I think it is definitely a splash move. I am excited to see Ed Reed and how he flourishes as a coach. Just for meeting him here in Atlanta. He has a cigar bar in Atlanta. He has a few investment properties. He's in Atlanta a lot. He's a real cool dude. Real down to earth. Doesn't move like a Hall of Famer. He moves like just a regular 9-to-5 Joe. And his personality and persona, I hope to see come through in Bethune Cookman's team, because off the field, like I said, he's cool as a fan, but on the field, he's the quintessential leader. Like, he is the leader. So I can't wait to see how this plays.
And I think he's a good hire, and he's a little bit different from the other guy because he is more of a blue collar, limited pomp and circumstance. I came to do my job.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna do a damn good job at my job, and by damn good job, I'm gonna be the best. But all of that.
Oh Lord, no. All of the hooping and hollering, the yelling, all
the extras that come with that, just not there for that.
So the SWAC, I mean, they've got a lot of coaches.
They do.
They have, of course, they got Big Hugh down there in Grambling. Now they got Ed Reed.
You're right.
They got Ed Reed and Bethune Cookman. They got,
Bubba
of course,
McDowell.
Bubba McDowell at Prairie View, Fred McNair at Alcorn State, and then Mr. SWAC himself, Eddie Robinson Jr. at Alabama State. So
and Eddie George, they got all the
Eddie George at Tennessee State.
You're right. But
you have, not to mention, you have Willie Simmons, who consistently is in the playoff hunt at FAMU, along with others. It's just, I said Hugh Jackson already. I don't know. I don't even know who's the favorite anymore in the SWAC next year. It will be Jackson State, but they have. You think they would fall off with Dion, and they will, but they have quietly as kept to have a really good recruiting class, but not the best. Alcorn State has the number one recruiting class in the SWAC.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have a settling. You have to have a settling period, especially with all of these transfers right now from the portal. And once you kind of see where everybody lands, I think at that point you'll be able to better forecast what you're really looking at going forward.
Yeah, man. And then you got, of course, At Southern, Eric Dooley, he he his recruiting class had all people that were 6'3" and taller, unless they were like a 6'2" linebacker. But like he did all offensive linemen and all big receivers and tight ends.
I like it. That's the Falcons' game plan.
That's everybody's game. That's college football. That's SEC game plan. We're gonna beat you in the trenches. And along with Ed Reed, now you have Ed Reed at Bethune Cookman. So you know those kids that leave Florida to go play somewhere else, they're gonna be at Bethune Cookman and FAM almost exclusively now.
Prayers to the state of Florida. Prayers to the state of Florida. You're attempting to recruit now, you have to deal with Ed Reed. And I hate to say it, but the entire state of Florida, nobody has a better resume in football at any level in the state of Florida than Ed Reed.
Yeah. Yeah, as a coach. Yeah, I mean, as a former player, coach. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And he's not it's so no nonsense. It's just I came to play very good football. I play very smart football. And yeah, everybody in Florida loves the Hurricanes. I was on the Hurricane staff. Now I'm here at Bethune Cookman.
In Daytona Beach. I could sell you a beach, or I could sell you some Alps. Which one you want to go to? Some mountains. Which one you want to go see? Come on to the beach.
Exactly.
And don't let them be good.
And hey, you don't think he knows who's good on that Miami team who's not getting burned right now?
Oh yeah. Now that's one thing I do hope. We have said it multiple times. I'm awake now. We said it multiple times on. Go ahead. All them kids that are on PWIs and all that stuff that ain't getting no burn, and you have ties to the PWIs, send them on down. That's why I said the man up there in Boulder, hey, if you really love HBCUs and it's for that, for the ones that don't make it, that's not Louis. If it, it might be coach. Send the coach down to Jackson.
Send that coach back. Send that coach back. You keep that Louis. Keep that Louis. That's yours.
You have all of this.
Many people are happy with a coach bag. Let me tell you that much.
And you have all of this NFL experience going to HBCUs is what's going to attract everybody. And speaking of NFL experience, the rumor mill is booming right now with Cam Newton allegedly trying or about to join Jackson State's coaching staff under TC as the quarterback's coach. He was seen in Jackson, Mississippi a couple of days ago, and TC Taylor. And I don't know how I feel about this, but I mean,
I know exactly how I feel about this.
Well, I mean, you're biased. You hate Cam Newton, but I think this could be a move in terms of, hey, we're still getting you NFL experience, NFL lessons. People that have been in the league, that have been to the Super Bowl, that have been MVPs. I don't hate it. I just hope he's able to rein in his personality. It's almost like trying to make Dion an assistant coach.
I hate to have to ask this question. What about Cam Newton, his quarterback coach?
I mean, his experience as being a quarterback in the NFL.
No, not for me. This is a no for me. This is a pass.
Why? Talk it out. Explain it.
Ed Reed, consummate student of the game, legitimate football savant. Cam Newton, not a student of the game, not the most cerebral player. And this ain't bias. He's a front runner. He's not really even a guy who is notorious for fighting through games, toughing it out. And when he loses, he's a bad loser. Terrible loser. It was a no for me. Strong.
I'm interested to see how it goes. I will always give the benefit of the doubt. I think hopefully
that sounds like veiled skepticism.
Hopefully he's mature enough and he's matured. If he hasn't matured, then you just fire him. I mean, it ain't hard. I mean, but the problem is, if he takes this job, I think the pressure's on him versus the pressure on Jackson State. Because if you honestly want to get into coaching, which is the only reason I can see that you take this job is because you want to get into coaching, then you have to mature. You have to be a leader. You have to be everything that encompasses being a coach. Because if you're not, one thing that young people can see is fraudulent. When you try to lead somebody and you ain't no leader, it's not going to work. They're going to get you out of there. And you ain't going to get nowhere else to coach because people are already skeptical. So I hope this works out. It's a big name. They're trying to keep the buzz at Jackson State.
And let me make sure that I shape this conversation the right way. I don't have any hate for Cam Newton. I do not hate Cam Newton.
Yes, you do.
But I
yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Just because I do not hate Cam Newton, I can not think that you're a great quarterback and still like you, Tim Tebow. I think that Tim Tebow is not a very good quarterback. I do think that I do like him. I think that Cam Newton is not a great quarterback. Don't have any personal ill will against him.
Really? You don't think he's ever been a good quarterback? He won the MVP. He threw for 4,500 yards or 4,200 yards as like a rookie with one receiver.
I think he had one good season.
One good season.
Ran the entire season. He front ran that whole season. As I predicted, when he got down, he would go out. When he got down, he went out and he pouted. And I said that he wasn't that good of a quarterback, and that guy never materialized again. Cam Newton, Carolina Panthers.
You said he had one good season?
Ring of Honor. Yeah,
what constituted a good
season
for you?
One great season. The MVP season was the greatest season.
Okay, so that wasn't even his best. That wasn't even his best season. His rookie year, he threw for 4,000 yards. He had 21 touchdowns.
That rookie year was good. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
The year Super Bowl year was what, 2012 or 13 or 15? I meant 15. I think it was 15. I think it was in his fourth year when he won the Super Bowl. Went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Broncos. He threw for 3,800 yards, 35 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
You know who that sounds like?
Who?
I hate to say it. They're going to be mad. Sound like Matt Ryan to me.
Okay, if it sounds like Matt Ryan to you, why do you cape for Matt Ryan and kick Cam Newton?
Because Cam Newton is the most physically gifted quarterback that we've ever seen.
What does that mean? You just said he has stats comparable to Matt Ryan, yet you praise Matt Ryan all the time, but you kick Cam Newton. Why do you do that?
Because Matt Ryan's never had a defense. Cam Newton had an excellent defense.
But what does that have to do with him throwing 4,000 yards and winning the MVP? He didn't have nearly the offensive weapons that Matt Ryan had. He had Steve Smith, and that is it. He had nobody else. So when you say you don't hate Cam Newton and I laugh at you because I say, that's a lie, this conversation right here is a lie. I mean, proves that that's a lie.
You think that well, this is also going to be the big difference.
You about to pivot?
Matt Ryan is going. No, I'm saying right here, Matt Ryan is going to the Hall of Fame. Cam Newton is not going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he did fall off a cliff. Yeah, he fell off a cliff. But you're saying he had one good year, which is foolish. That's foolish to say. Okay. That's like Josh saying Matt Ryan is a coach killer. That's foolish. That's foolish to say.
It is. but one is a Ring of Honor guy, and that makes you all of very good. And one of these guys is.
You just said he's not a good quarterback, though. You said he's now. You just said at the beginning of this he wasn't a good quarterback. You said he had one. Your words were he had one good year and he's not a good quarterback. Those were your words, and that's why I was like, are you for real?
I was being facetious. What I'm saying is, as a number one pick, and as the guy with all this pomp and circumstance, he ended up being pretty good.
How many number one pick quarterbacks actually end up being better than Cam? It's not many. Number one picks, not many. You could probably say what, Peyton Manning?
Oh yeah.
Who else was a number one pick? Nope.
Stafford.
He didn't have a nope.
Oh, hold on. Here we go. NFL draft. Every quarterback that's went
number one
since 1967. Terry Bradshaw. Better.
Let's go modern. Let's go modern football. Go modern. If you don't go from 1950, then and it's still gonna be less than half. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be less than half, even if you did it that way. But you can keep going.
Let's see. Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Right now, he's had a better career than Cam so far. Well, no, he hasn't. He hasn't. We don't know. He hasn't had a better career than Cam yet.
No. To be determined. But let me ask you a question.
We'll see.
Who do you force?
We'll see. Because if you would have asked me at this point of Cam Newton's career, his shoulder didn't fall off yet. So I would have said Cam Newton is on his way.
I ain't gonna lie. We had some stinkers now.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Tim Couch, or you can keep going now.
These are people who I hate. Kyler Murray, Baker, Jared Goff.
Ooh.
Might be. Good now.
Keep going. I didn't even have to look up no stats for that one. Keep going. Keep going. You get Jared Goff. Andrew Luck got him. I'd actually probably say they're about even because Andrew Luck quit the same time that Cam
Bradford.
Get out of there. So you haven't named one yet.
Matt Stafford better with your Marcus Russell. God no.
You think Matt Stafford has? Okay.
Yeah.
He won the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Alex Smith.
Oof.
Eli.
Now that is somebody who benefited from a defense.
Oh yeah. Carson Palmer or Cam Newton?
I would say Cam because Cam was the total team.
Wait till you get to the next one. David Carr.
Jeez. So, as I said, you was like to be a number one pick.
No, we're not here.
Keep going.
Next one.
Who?
Michael Vick. Yo, this is number one at quarterback. Number one, let me go ahead and say this. Number one quarterback is completely arbitrary. That told me nothing. You could be damn near the GOAT. You could be a flaming bag of garbage. It don't matter.
You find out you disproved it. You disproved your point, and I ain't even have to say nothing. Just look up the list of number one quarterbacks.
It's literally up and down, up and down, up and down. Next one. You literally go Tim Couch, Peyton Manning.
Yep.
Then you go to Drew Bledsoe.
He wasn't the number one pick, was he?
Yep.
Oh, that draft must have been awful.
Jeff George. He was probably better than Cam.
He just played longer. He wasn't better.
Troy
Aikman.
This thing is, yeah.
I mean, yeah. You got to say Troy just because he was on one of the greatest dynasties of all time. So you got to say yes.
With help. He's an asterisk.
With the help. What do you mean he had the help? He had the greatest offensive line of all time. With the greatest running back of all time. With the top 2 receiver of all time. With a top 5 of tight end.
He did not have the greatest running back. He had a great running back. He had a great wide receiver, a great tight end, a great head coach, a great defensive line. He had Deion Sanders.
And a great defense.
Norton. Yeah. Vinny Testaverde.
Nope.
Woo.
I'm telling you,
He only made
Cam
the stars
before
in
his shoulder
championship.
fell off, Cam first 5 years was like crazy. He was averaging like 3,500 yards with one receiver. It's
John
then when they
Elway?
started losing. Yeah, John Elway. Yeah. So we had two.
Steve Bartowski. Yeah, this
For the Falcons?
I mean, you. Yeah.
See, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm a Falcons fan. I ain't went back and watched now Steve Bartkowski film.
2 Pro Bowl seasons in 80-81. NFC divisional round, career backup. That I will tell you. Steve Bartowski is the guy who I don't know anything about.
Me neither.
Chris Chandler, Jeff George, all the rest of them. I don't know. I wasn't born yet, number one.
Wasn't even here. Wasn't even here.
You start asking me Steve Bartowski history, great throwback jersey. That's it. That's
great. The Red Falcon 10 is wild. It's a wild one.
Yep.
But as I was saying, but the point is,
I don't know how he played. I don't know what he was good at. Don't ask me where he went to college. I don't know. Sorry to this man.
All I know is he threw the ball to Billy White Shoes Johnson. That's all I know for 1 year. That's all because Billy White Shoes, because his the little celebration was in Tecmo Bowl when he did like this with the legs. Yeah. That was a celebration. Yeah.
Hoist the dude.
So that's all I know.
So after looking at this, he's a mediocre number one.
Mediocre? He's one of the best number ones of all time. You've only named 2 people better than him, Peyton Manning and Drew Bledsoe.
Wait, no, hell no. Eli Manning.
You think Eli?
Stafford, Andrew Luck.
I don't. What's Andrew Luck's stats? Because Andrew Luck quit. Cam Newton's first 5 years.
The kidney rupture. You can't, man. I didn't play football a long time. I don't know how you get kidney lacerations.
Kidney lacerations of the spleen. I'll be like, y'all. I don't know if Eli is a better. Chauncey Gardner-Wilson, he's out for the year with a lacerated spleen. I said, a spleen? Who? When Andrew Luck said I was pissing blood, I was like, y'all know he about to retire, right? When Andrew Luck said I'm pissing blood, he was like, oh man, I was pissing blood this morning. I'm like, he about to go play? Oh, y'all need to start searching for a quarterback now. 3 weeks later, hey, Jacoby Brissett, you are now the starting quarterback.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not many things that will really just break me down to emotional nothingness. That is at the top of the list. I'm crying. I'm emotional damage.
Hawks got beat by the Pacers. We didn't have Clint Capella. We didn't have any defense. Trae Young exited the game with a calf injury. You heard me? Michael Vick had the potential to have a better, but a lot of these players had the potential to be better than Cam, but I'm telling you, Cam's first 5 or 6 years, he had like 4,000 yards, 3,800 yards, 3,500 yards, 3,800 yards, MVP, Super Bowl. So, like, he's a top 10. Well, I won't say 10 because then you get to the 70s when they actually valued quarterbacks, the white quarterbacks.
Well, the guys from the 70s ain't nobody but Terry Bradshaw. He's not better than Jim Plunkett, not better than, and then it's Steve Bartowski and John Elway.
John Elway's in the 80s. So out of all the years of the NFL, you've named 6 players, 6 number 1 quarterbacks better than him that I've heard. Unless you're gonna go to like Bart Starr.
No. Bradshaw, Plunkett, Elway, Aikman, Peyton.
Sneaky
I'm giving it
say
to Mike Vick.
I'm not.
Carson Palmer and him are
Mike Vick had a Mike. That's funny that you said Dolphin. Mike Vick is a certain Mike Vick's career. Mike Vick's career. You said it, not me. Mike Vick's career.
National treasure, and Hampton needs him as a coach. Mike Vick, nothing but respect to you, dog. We would love to have you in the 757.
Mike Vick's career is similar to Cam Newton's. Mike Vick played with, he went. You can't. Which
one? You got to pick one. Who you picking, Reggie? We the realest podcast. We answer hard hitting questions. You gotta pick one: Cam Newton or Michael Vick. Who you
Mike
want
Vick's
right
first
now? Money.
5 years versus Cam Newton's first 5 years.
I don't care. I don't need to see nothing.
It's the same. It's the same. I mean, I'm picking you're picking the more dynamic player. You're picking Mike Vick. But I mean, it's not far off.
Ain't no slouch.
It's not far off. I mean, Mike Vick had Algie Crumpler and Roddy White. Cam Newton had Steve Smith and Greg Olsen.
Greg Olsen, very good player.
What I'm saying is they're very comparable. They both had really good first contract years. Them first 4 years where you trying to get that payday. Then they got paid. Mike Vick went to prison. Cam Newton arm fell off. And of course then he was front running. He became a big baby. But
that is okay, and that's also where I kind of split. Michael Vick was just a better leader. He's a better everything than Cam
was he?
Newton.
He shot birds to the media and told the fans, "Fuck you." Was he really a better leader?
I like a little bit of that now.
I mean, well, Cam did the same thing then. Cam was like, "Yo, we don't like you dancing in the end zone. Okay, stop me."
No. I didn't have an issue with Cam dancing in the end zone. I had an issue with every time that Cam started losing, he put a towel on his head and go sit.
And he started pouting. Yeah, he started pouting.
As a quarterback, can't do that. You can't do that as a QB.
That's what I'm saying. At Jackson State, to bring it back, at Jackson State, for him to, if this happens, because we could be doing all this talking and he'd be like, "Nah, I was just down there visiting." But if this happens, he has to mature.
You think
Where else would he go? He'd have to go to high school. If this is the only other place that he'd have to go high school, nobody in their right mind would give him a job in college right now.
So why would Jackson State do it?
Pimping is real. What you mean?
I'm glad you talked yourself all the way to the end of the day. He said nobody in their right mind would do it.
Because pimping is real. But what I'm saying is, I didn't talk myself out of the point. Cam Newton will have to be mature enough to hold that position, because if he takes the job, he has something to prove, 100%. And if he's trying to get into coaching, this is the only way other than high school. And them high school kids don't like you no way. They be disrespecting them at his own camp. You remember that?
I forgot about that. See, you took bow, 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 bow.
Nah. But Cam does have a link to HBCUs though. His dad went to HBCU. His brother played at Tennessee State. Cecil played at Tennessee State. Was starting center for 3 years. Ended up going to the league as well.
His little brother played at Howard.
Little brother played at Howard. Kalen played at Howard. So I mean, he has a strong link to HBCUs. I mean, at the end of the day, he's a quarterback that went to the Super Bowl and won an MVP. I'm at least gonna listen to him, see what he got to say. Can't hurt. I don't know why this chat isn't showing up.
I just feel like the majority of the things that made him a great quarterback are not the things that you can impart on other players.
What you mean?
I mean, I don't think he's the greatest decision maker. I think he was just a really good athlete. I will go to my grave saying that I don't understand how Russell Wilson is a Hall of Famer and Cam Newton is not.
Can you say the same thing about Mike Vick though? He wasn't a great decision maker. He was just a world-class athlete.
The classy of even if I'm willing to say that because he's the classiest of athletes. He is the world.
Why? I mean, he just ran. I mean, Cam he ran a 4.2. Cam ran a 4.4. Cam 6'6". Mike Vick was 5'11", 6 feet. They both threw. Now Mike Vick threw the ball 75 yards. Cam threw the ball 70. Like,
but just Mike Vick used to make that shit.
Mike Vick was more dynamic. But Cam, I'm telling you, that's why I think people forget, when did JSU become part of the black head coach starter pack? When Deion went there. That's pretty much what they're gonna look at themselves as, which is what they can do.
It's the stadium. Where can you get the most eyes in HBCU football? Jackson State.
Right now, yeah.
Does anybody else have a stadium that big?
No. No.
That, and I think that everybody, and which is one of my biggest gripes, is they act like Jackson State was just poverty and needed charity. They're third in the conference before Deion showed. Well, before he who shall not be named showed up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's tricky. Why is this not showing up? Is the question. Let's just refresh the chat. How about that? It's tricky. But with that being said, I really wanted to talk about this and just bring highlights, especially to Ed Reed getting his chance at Bethune Cookman. If we can have one of our friends, AJ, said he hopes that this becomes a springboard for Ed Reed to go to to go to a PWI school. If Ed Reed is upfront and forthright and just says, we're going to be mutually beneficial, there's nothing you can say. Cool. That's what we're going to do. Because I still don't have a problem with that either. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that either.
And in the whole conversation, I think that's one of the more frustrating parts, is it made HBCU seem like we were delusional about Deion staying there forever. Now, what AJ said, I don't necessarily want to speak that into existence. I want Ed Reed to do whatever Ed Reed wants to do as a coach, and I hope that Bethune-Cookman allows him to do that. If he wants to be the guy who stays at Bethune-Cookman for 30 years and becomes a legendary coach for them, then do that. If he wants to take this opportunity and stay 4 or 5 years, cement his legacy, and then move on, hey, Miami, you got to be looking at yourself.
I mean, at the end of the day, this would be a great move for Ed because Miami again is in. They're in flux. They fired Mariano. No, that's the closer. They fired the coach. They fired the coach and hired Mario Cristobal from Oregon. Lured him away from Oregon because he's a Hurricane alum. He brought Ed Reed on staff. If Ed Reed goes and does really well at Bethune-Cookman, and they offered him the job in Miami, he has to go. You have to go to Miami. You have to. That's your alma mater. You have a statue. I think he has a statue there or like a shrine at Miami. His jersey's retired. He's regarded as one of the top 5 Miami Hurricanes of all time, which is difficult to do. You got to do it.
Ain't no joke either.
But you have to. What you have to do and what you have to say is, you have to be able to build the pipeline. Build the pipeline and bring the black coaches. Don't gut us like he who shall not be named did, but build the pipeline of black coaches. Build the pipeline for players and just be transparent. Don't sell us. You don't need to sell us. We've been sold.
Yeah.
That was a word.
We're not sold. We believe in. There's no need for a buy. That is the reason we have you guys. Is we want to cut down on the buy and sell. We want to be able to, for our athletes to go to a school and not be taken advantage of and discarded like many PWIs will do. That was the overarching big issue with the guy before. It's not that what you did, is that you told us you would not mislead us, you would not abuse our trust, and then you immediately did that. And
yeah, just don't sell us a dream. Yeah, you made it harder for Ed. You're going to make it harder for anybody else that wants to come back. Now, I mean, he did lay a blueprint that other people are starting to follow with the whole social media, getting sponsors, getting money. All these HBCUs are doing it. But we're not going to keep talking about you anyway.
But
we're not going to step on the lead of Ed Reed, stand-up guy, getting his shot as a head coach and helping the culture as well. With that being said, hey, folks, we're going to fix a drink. Again, I told y'all I'm off all week, so
I'm not.
I decided that I might as well go ahead and have a drink because I'm not going to really be able to do it after this once work start back. So
That boy enjoying the holiday. Okay.
Yeah, grandma.
Season.
And then grandma gave me the giant pot of mom and grandma gave me the giant pot of gumbo. We done put it in some bags to freeze it.
I'm hating.
Yeah, you should. Got peach cobbler cheesecake.
Just paid Sean Murphy 6 years, $73 million. Bravos.
Who's
I know somebody. Newly acquired Oakland Athletics catcher.
Oh well, yeah. We let William Contreras go. 6 years. How much?
73.
Oh, that's not bad. I thought you said 173. I don't like now. If I'm Acuna and Albies, I'm out of there. You need to trade me right now.
Check please. Check please.
I'm gonna stay in Venezuela. That's where I'm about to stay. Venezuela is where I'm going to stay. Hell no. I'm like, damn, boy. I'd be marching. You be mad at me. Everybody in the world be mad at me. You get paid $70 million and you marching in front of Braves Stadium. You damn right. They paying this person over here $173. Okay. Woo! I'd be like, the Braves about to implode.
Somehow, Ronald Acuna is not our highest paid player, and that just does not sit right.
And he's probably gonna leave after his contract is up. He'll be 28, 27, 28 when his contract's up. That sounds like $400 million to me.
Break a bag, and you got Albies right there.
You gotta maximize what you got. But look, y'all, we'll be right back in about 1 or 2 minutes. Basketball segment coming up. You know, we gotta talk about the Hawks. We lost.
Oops.
We got hoops. Gonna talk about these Christmas Day games. Warriors, Grizz. Old man took the young man to the woodshed. Suns, Nuggets, Lakers, Mavs, and Wally Zerbiak is speaking as if he is a Hall of Famer, and that boy is a T-shirt All-American. Like, there is no way possible that he should be talking about some of these players in today's game. And
no, it's one player. And you have no business. Yeah, Wally, he's better than you, and he's going to be better
right now. He's better than you. Just what did Travis Hunter say to the Florida State DB? Florida State DB said, "We don't need no Travis Hunter down here. They got me." And when he signed with Florida State, Travis Hunter responded and said, "Man, they would take me over you right now. If I said I wanted to come to Florida State, they would give me your scholarship."
Hey, take his helmet. Him. Get his helmet. Get his shoulder pads. I want his. And they would have been like, "Sir,
have you heard of FAMU? Have you heard of FAMU? Have you gone across the tracks to FAMU?
No. Have you heard of fuck you? That's what you can do.